They thought humans were weak. They thought we would send doctors and food supplies. They were wrong. Dead wrong. When the Zelkari sent their distress signal across the galaxy, they expected mercy. What they got instead was the UNSC Ragnarok, a warship so powerful it could crack planets in half. And the terrifying part, we built it in secret while the rest of the galaxy laughed at us. This is the story of humanity's biggest mistake, or greatest triumph. You decide. The beginning. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the mining station orbiting Europa, sipping her morning coffee. It was supposed to be a normal Tuesday. Space never gave anyone normal Tuesdays. "Captain, we're picking up something weird," said Lieutenant Marcus Webb, his fingers dancing across the holographic display. It's a distress signal." Sarah set down her coffee. "From who? There's nothing out here for 20 light years. That's the thing, ma'am. It's coming from way beyond our borders. Deep space. Sector 447. The bridge fell silent. Sector 447 was Zelkari territory. The Zelkari, those blue-skinned, four-armed aliens who had laughed at Earth during the Galactic Council meetings. The ones who called humans the soft species. The ones who said we were too emotional. Too weak, too new to matter. "Play it," Sarah commanded. Static filled the bridge. Then a voice, desperate, broken, translated by the universal language algorithms. "This is Commander Velrax of the Zelkari Defense Fleet. Our colony on Theta 9 is under attack. Repeat, under attack. The Kravor swarm has broken through our defenses. We need immediate assistance. Sending coordinates, please. We have civilians, children. Please help." The transmission ended with screams and the sound of explosions. Marcus looked at Sarah. "Ma'am, the Zelkari have 3 million people on Theta 9. It's one of their biggest farming colonies." Sarah's jaw tightened. She remembered the last Galactic Council meeting. The Zelkari ambassador had stood before everyone and said, "Humans are too primitive to contribute anything meaningful to galactic defense. They play with rockets while we bend space itself." The council had laughed. Even Earth's allies had chuckled politely, but Sarah wasn't thinking about politics now. She was thinking about 3 million people about to die. "Send the signal to Earth Command," she said quietly. "Mark it urgent." 12 hours later, Earth Command, Geneva. Admiral James Hawke stared at the holographic display showing the Zelkari colony. Red indicators pulsed where the Kravor swarm ships were tearing through defenses. "How long do they have?" he asked. 72 hours, maybe less," said Dr. Patricia Moore, the chief science advisor. "The Kravor are efficient. They'll strip the planet of all biological matter and move on." And the Zelkari fleet? Scattered, half destroyed. The Kravor caught them completely off guard. The conference room held 20 of Earth's top military officials. All of them knew what this moment meant. "They mocked us," said General Rodriguez. "Called us weak. Voted against our Security Council membership 3 times. Why should we risk our people? Because 3 million civilians don't deserve to die for their leader's arrogance," Admiral Hawke replied. His voice was steel, "and because the galaxy is watching. They think we're soft? Let's show them what human softness really means." He pressed a button on his console. "Activate Project Ragnarok." The room erupted in whispers. "Sir," Dr. Moore said carefully, "the Ragnarok isn't fully tested. We've run simulations, but do we have a choice?" Hawke interrupted. "The nearest galactic peacekeeping force is 6 days away. Those civilians don't have 6 days." He stood, his shadow falling across the holographic display of the doomed colony. 70 years ago, the galaxy discovered us. They found a species that still used chemical rockets and fought among ourselves. They laughed. They offered us a spot at the table, but only as observers. No votes, no voice, just watch and learn from your betters. Admiral Hawke's eyes blazed. "For 70 years we've been building in secret. While they laughed at our primitive technology, we learned from them, adapted, improved. We took their arrogance as fuel." He pulled up new schematics on the display, a warship unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The UNSC Ragnarok, 7 kilometers long, powered by a controlled singularity engine, the same technology the Galactic said we were centuries away from understanding. Armed with relativistic kinetic weapons, plasma lances, and something special we borrowed from their own physics. And made better, the dimensional shear cannon, Dr. Moore whispered. Exactly. One shot can tear a hole in space-time itself. The Galactics banned this technology 2,000 years ago because it was too dangerous. They said no species should wield such power. Admiral Hawke smiled grimly. Good thing we're not part of their official regulations yet. General Rodriguez leaned forward. Sir, if we reveal this ship, the entire Galactic Council will what? Sanction us? They're already keeping us out of every important decision. Fear us? Good. Maybe they'll think twice before treating us like children next time. Hawke turned to his communications officer. Send a message to the Zelkari. Tell them help is coming. Tell them Earth heard their call. He paused. And activate Captain Ryder. It's time to wake up the monster. Classified location, dark side of the moon. Captain Jake Ryder had been preparing for this moment for 5 years. He just thought it would be protecting Earth, not saving aliens who despised them. The hangar bay stretched for miles, carved deep into lunar rock. Floating in the center, held by gravitational anchors, was the Ragnarok. Even Ryder, who had trained on her for years, felt his breath catch. She was beautiful and terrifying. Black hull absorbing all light, weapon ports running along her length like teeth, engine ports that glowed with barely contained power, the light of a captured black hole, tamed and harnessed. She's ready, Captain, said Commander Lisa Torres, his second-in-command. Crew of 1,500, all volunteers, all trained in secret. Do they know what we're doing? Ryder asked. They know we're saving people. That's enough. Ryder climbed the access ramp, his crew following. Inside, the Ragnarok hummed with power. The bridge was a circular command center with holographic displays showing every system. At its heart sat the captain's chair, designed to interface directly with the ship's AI. Ragnarok, Ryder said softly. You there? A voice answered. Female, calm, with just a hint of anticipation. Always, Captain. I've been waiting. Shall we show the galaxy what humanity can do? Ryder sat in the command chair, neural links connected to his mind. Suddenly he could feel the entire ship, every weapon, every engine, every system. It was overwhelming and exhilarating. Plot course for Zelkari space. Maximum speed. That will reveal our capabilities to every sensor array in 3 systems, the AI warned. I know. Do it anyway, the gravitational anchors released. The Ragnarok's engines ignited with the power of a sun, and humanity's secret weapon left the shadows. Will the Ragnarok arrive in time? What happens when the galaxy sees what humans have built? And what is the Craver Swarm really after? Keep watching to find out. The Ragnarok tore through space like a bullet through water. On the bridge, Captain Ryder watched the tactical display with growing concern. The numbers weren't good. How long until we reach Theta 9? He asked. Commander Torres checked her console. At current speed, 48 hours. The Zelkari don't have 48 hours. I know, sir. But if we push the engines any harder... Ragnarok, Ryder interrupted, speaking to the ship's AI. What happens if we go beyond safety limits? The AI's voice filled the bridge. The Singularity Drive can operate at 140% capacity for approximately 6 hours before requiring cooldown. This would reduce travel time to 31 hours. However, the dimensional stress may alert every major power within 50 light-years. Will it damage the ship? No, but it will announce our presence very loudly, Ryder smiled. Good, I want them to know we're coming. Maximum burn. All systems. The crew grabbed their stations as the ship surged forward. Outside the viewports, stars began to stretch into lines. They weren't just moving fast. They were moving at speeds the galaxy thought impossible for a ship this size. Galactic Monitoring Station, Sector 395, the Catharian sensor operator's tentacles stiffened in shock. Sir, I'm detecting a massive spatial distortion. Something big is moving through Sector 420 at... This can't be right, her supervisor floated over. What is it? 0.75 light speed, and accelerating. The object is... By the old ones, it's 7 kilometers long. That's impossible. Only the ancient Forerunner ships were that size, and they've been dead for millennia. Run a diagnostic, already did. Sensors are functioning perfectly. Sir, whatever this is, it's putting out enough energy to power a small star. And it's heading straight for Zelkari territory. The supervisor's scales turned pale. Alert the council. Immediately. And get me a visual if you can." When the image came through, both operators fell silent. The ship was like nothing in the Galactic database. Sleek, predatory, covered in weapons. And most terrifying of all, its signature matched no known species. "Where did this come from?" the supervisor whispered. His operator checked the trajectory data, tracing it backward. "Sol system, sir. The human homeworld. The humans, the soft ones. That's impossible. The sensors don't lie, sir. Theta 9 colony, 36 hours until Ragnarok arrival." Commander Velrax limped through the ruins of the colony's main defense bunker. Outside, the sky burned with the orange glow of Kravor ships. The Kravor were insectoid nightmares, 8-legged creatures the size of hover cars, each one a killing machine. They didn't conquer planets. They consumed them. Every living thing was food or fuel. "How many civilians made it to the underground shelters?" Velrax asked. 2.3 million, reported his aide, breathing hard. Blood dripped from a wound on her arm. "We lost the northern sector. 700,000 dead." Velrax's forearms clenched into fists. His people were dying, and help was nowhere in sight. "Any response to our distress signal?" "Yes, Commander. One response from Earth." Velrax's eyes widened. "The humans? What did they say?" "They said help is coming. They said to hold out for 36 more hours." Velrax laughed bitterly. 36 hours? We'll be lucky to last 12. And what are the humans sending anyway? A transport ship with food and medicine? How touchingly useless. Sir, the message included something else. A warning to evacuate the space above the colony. They said their ship would need operational clearance. One ship? Velrax shook his head. We had 50 warships and the Kravor destroyed them in days. What can one human ship possibly do? The bunker shook as another plasma strike hit nearby. Get everyone underground who can fit, Velrax ordered. Prepare for final defense. If we're going to die, we'll die fighting. But deep in his heart, he felt a spark of something he thought he'd lost. Hope. The humans had answered. That soft, emotional, primitive species had heard his call. Maybe they would surprise him. Aboard the Ragnarok, 24 hours until arrival. Captain Ryder stood in the ship's armory, watching his Marines prepare for combat. They called themselves Ryder's Reapers, 500 of the deadliest soldiers Earth had ever produced. Enhanced with gene therapy, trained in every combat scenario imaginable, equipped with powered armor that made them look like mechanical demons. Sergeant Maria Kowalski approached. She was a mountain of muscle and cybernetics, having lost both arms in the war against the Mars colonies. Captain, the boys are ready. Just say the word. This isn't a rescue mission, Sergeant. It's a statement. Good. I've seen the intel on these Kravor things. Big bugs that eat people. She grinned. I hate bugs. Ryder pulled up a holographic display showing the Theta 9 battlefield. The Kravor have 4 massive hive ships in orbit. Each one is 3 kilometers across and pumping out thousands of warriors every hour. The surface is overrun. The Zelkari are trapped underground with maybe hours of air left. So what's the plan, sir? We hit them with everything. I want those hive ships turned into scrap. I want every Kravor on that planet to know they made a mistake. And I want the whole galaxy watching. Kowalski's grin widened. Music to my ears, Captain. Galactic Council Chambers, emergency session. The council was in chaos. Representatives from 70 species argued, shouted, and demanded answers. Holographic displays showed the mysterious ship racing towards Zelkari space. Order! Order! Bellowed Chancellor Mrix, a massive reptilian being who led the council. We will have silence. The chamber quieted. The situation is clear, Mrix continued. An unknown warship of unprecedented size is approaching Theta 9. We've confirmed it originated from Sol system, the human homeworld. The Zelkari ambassador stood, all 4 arms raised. The humans are coming to help us. This is what we hoped for when we sent the distress signal. Help? Sneered Ambassador Krell of the Draxian Imperium. Or conquest. We know nothing of this ship's capabilities or intentions. For all we know, the humans plan to claim Theta 9 for themselves. That's ridiculous, argued Ambassador Chen of Earth, a small, elderly woman who had endured years of condescension in this chamber. We received a distress call and we're responding. Isn't that what the Council claims to stand for? Protection of innocent life? You should have consulted us first. Krell snapped. There wasn't time, Chen replied coldly. While you debate and posture, people are dying. Humans don't wait for permission to do the right thing. Chancellor Mrick slammed his gavel. Ambassador Chen, your species has violated a dozen protocols by deploying a military vessel into another member state's territory without authorization. The Zelkari aren't a member state, Chen countered. They're an observer state, same as us. And they asked for help. The rules still, damn your rules. Chen's voice cracked like a whip. 3 million civilians are about to be slaughtered. If the mighty Galactic Council can't save them, then humanity will. The chamber erupted again, but Chen just smiled. Because she knew something they didn't. They were all about to learn what humans were truly capable of. Aboard the Ragnarok, 6 hours until arrival. Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the Galactic Council, Torres reported. They're ordering us to stand down and return to Earth space immediately. Ryder didn't even look up from his tactical display. Acknowledge receipt. Then ignore it. Sir, they're threatening sanctions. Commander, do I look like I care about sanctions? Ragnarok. Status report. The AI responded instantly. All weapon systems optimal. Marines ready for deployment. Dimensional shear cannon charged to 85%. We are ready for combat, Captain. Good girl. Ryder stood, his eyes fixed on the view screen showing the Theta-9 system growing closer. Tell the crew to prepare for battle. And send one final message to Commander Velrax. What should it say, sir? Ryder's smile was cold and dangerous. Tell him, humanity heard you. Hold on just a little longer. The cavalry is coming. The Ragnarok arrives at Theta-9. The first battle begins. Can one human ship defeat an entire Kravor fleet? And what secret weapon does the Ragnarok truly possess? Don't miss what happens next. The Kravor hive ships hung over Theta-9 like bloated spiders, their hull surfaces crawling with thousands of warriors preparing to drop to the surface. In the largest hive ship, the Kravor Queen sensed something wrong. She was ancient, vast, her consciousness spread across her entire fleet. She had conquered 17 worlds, consumed billions of beings. Nothing in the galaxy could stop her swarm, but now, something approached, something dangerous. Her sensory organs detected it first, a massive spatial distortion. Energy readings beyond anything she'd encountered, a predator's presence that made even her instincts scream warnings. The Queen sent a command through the psychic network that connected all Kravor. Be ready. Something comes, the Ragnarok, arrival, dropping out of faster than light in 3, 2, 1. Reality snapped back into focus. The Ragnarok emerged at the edge of the Theta-9 system, and every sensor in the sector immediately went insane. Captain Ryder stood on the bridge, surrounded by holographic displays showing the battlefield. 4 massive Kravor hive ships, hundreds of smaller assault craft. The surface of Theta-9 burning. Tactical assessment, he commanded. Torres worked quickly. 4 hive ships, each approximately 3 kilometers in diameter. Combined Kravor forces estimate at 200,000 warriors in space, another million on the surface. Sir, we're outnumbered significantly. Good, Ryder said quietly. I hate even fights. Ragnarok broadcast on all frequencies. I want everyone to hear this, the Kravor, the Zelkari, and especially the Galactic Council. Channel open. Captain, Ryder's voice echoed across space. This is Captain Jake Ryder of the United Nations Star Command vessel Ragnarok. We have received a distress call from Theta-9 colony and are responding with immediate military action. To the Kravor swarm, you have 60 seconds to begin withdrawing your forces. If you do not comply, we will consider you hostile and engage with extreme prejudice. Silence. Then, a response. The Kravor Queen's voice, translated by alien technology, filled with amusement and hunger. Small mammals. Soft things. You are one ship. We are legion. You will feed us well, Ryder smiled. Torres, did you hear that? She called us soft. I heard, sir. I'm getting really tired of aliens calling us soft. Weapons free. Show them what human soft looks like. The first strike. The Ragnarok's weapon ports opened like the eyes of a waking giant. Target the closest hive ship, Ryder ordered. Relativistic kinetic kill vehicles full salvo. 20 hatches along the Ragnarok's spine opened. From each emerged a projectile the size of a bus of solid tungsten rods accelerated by electromagnetic rails to 95% the speed of light. The Kravor Queen barely had time to register the attack. The kinetic projectiles hit the hive ship like the fist of an angry god. At relativistic speeds, mass became energy. Each rod hit with the force of a small nuclear weapon. The hive ship's shields, designed to deflect energy weapons, did absolutely nothing against solid matter moving at near light speed. The first rod punched through the ship's outer hull. The second shattered internal support structures. By the 20th impact, the entire hive ship was breaking apart, atmosphere venting, thousands of Kravor dying in the void. Hive Ship 1 is breaking up, Torres reported, her voice steady despite the awe she felt. Structural collapse in progress. Next target, Ryder said calmly. Plasma lances, the Ragnarok's lateral weapons powered up. Magnetic coils generated plasma heated to 10 million degrees, the temperature of a star's core, and fired it in focused beams. The second hive ship tried to bring its weapons to bear. Too slow. 3 plasma beams, each as bright as a miniature sun, carved through its hull like a hot knife through butter. Critical systems exploded. The ship listed, dead in space. 2 down, 2 to go, Ryder said. Ragnarok, how's our special weapon? Dimensional shear cannon charged to 100%, Captain. Ready to fire on your command. Not yet. Let's save that for something special. Launch the fighter wings. From the Ragnarok's hangars, 200 small fighters emerged. They weren't conventional ships. They were semi-autonomous drones, controlled by neural-linked pilots, safe inside the mothership. Each one carried enough firepower to destroy a city. Fighters away, Torres confirmed. Engaging Kravor assault craft. The space battle, Lieutenant Sarah Park, controlled 12 fighters simultaneously, her mind expanded by the neural interface. It was like having 12 bodies, seeing through 12 sets of eyes. Her swarm of drones tore into the Kravor assault craft. The aliens had numbers, but humans had technology they'd spent 70 years perfecting. Missiles that could think, energy weapons that predicted target movement. Shield systems adapted from technology the Galactics thought they'd hidden well enough. Blue Squadron, focus on the transport ships, Park commanded. Don't let any more warriors reach the surface. Her fighters danced through space, dodging Kravor bioplasma shots and returning fire with precision. Explosions bloomed across the battlefield like deadly flowers. Theta 9 surface, Zelkari bunker. Commander Velrax watched the space battle on the bunker's damaged sensors, unable to believe what he was seeing. One human ship was destroying the Kravor. Fleet. 1 ship, the same fleet that had crushed 50 Zelkari warships in 3 days, was being torn apart by a single human vessel, by the ancestors, whispered his aide. What kind of monsters did we call for help? But Velrax felt tears in his eyes, because those monsters were saving his people. Open a channel to the human ship, he ordered. Moments later, a hologram appeared, a human male, strong-jawed, with cold blue eyes that had seen combat. Commander Velrax, Ryder said. You called for help. We're here, Captain Ryder. Thank you. Thank you. Save your thanks. We're not done yet. 2 hive ships remain, and you've got about 1 million Kravor on your surface. Prepare your people for extraction. But the Kravor control, not for long. Ragnarok, commence orbital bombardment of Kravor surface positions. Avoid all civilian centers. The AI responded, targeting solution calculated, engaging. Orbital bombardment from orbit. The Ragnarok's weapons turned toward the planet's surface. Not the massive weapons that had destroyed the hive ships, those would crack the planet itself. Instead, smaller precision weapons emerged, particle beam projectors that could burn through armor from space, and kinetic bombardment rods that fell like rain. The Kravor warriors on the surface barely understood what was happening before the sky opened up with fire. Particle beams carved through their formations. Kinetic rods created craters where Kravor hive structures had stood moments before. In 30 minutes, the Ragnarok killed 300,000 Kravor warriors without a single human soldier touching the ground. The remaining Kravor fled underground, trying to escape the judgment from above. Sir, The third hive ship is attempting to retreat, Torres warned. That's a negative, Ryder said. Ragnarok, pursue and destroy. The massive human warship moved with impossible grace, its engines pushing it forward at speeds that should have torn a ship apart. It closed on the fleeing hive ship in minutes. Fire all forward batteries. The Ragnarok unleashed hell, plasma, kinetic weapons, missiles, everything. The hive ship's shields held for exactly 4 seconds before collapsing. The hull broke apart, venting Cravor into space. 3 hive ships destroyed, Torres reported. 1 remaining. It's positioning itself between us and the planet. The Queen is using the colony as a shield. Ryder's expression turned dark. She thinks we won't fire if civilians are in the line of fire. Will we? No, but we don't need to. Ryder stood from his command chair. It's time to show the galaxy what we really built. Ragnarok, arm the dimensional shear cannon. The bridge lighting dimmed as power redirected to the forward weapon. Sir, Torres said carefully, the Galactic Council banned this technology. If we use it, the Galactic Council can kiss my ass, Ryder interrupted. Target the last hive ship. Firing solution that minimizes spatial disruption to the planet. Solution calculated. The AI confirmed. Captain, this will be visible across 3 sectors. Everyone will know what we've done. Good. Fire. The dimensional shear, deep in the Ragnarok's bow, a weapon hummed to life that bent the laws of physics. The dimensional shear cannon didn't fire projectiles or energy. It tore a hole between dimensions, a wound in space-time itself. When it fired, reality screamed. A line of absolutely nothing appeared between the Ragnarok and the hive ship. Not darkness, not emptiness, nothing. A space where the universe simply ceased to exist. The tear lasted for only a microsecond, but that was enough. The hive ship, caught in the dimensional shear, simply ceased, not destroyed. Not exploded, it was unmade, erased from existence. Every atom scattered across dimensions that humans didn't even have names for. The Cravor Queen didn't have time to scream. One moment she existed. The next, she didn't, and with her death, the psychic network connecting all Cravor collapsed. Every warrior, every drone, every creature in the swarm fell dead simultaneously, their nervous systems unable to function without the Queen's guiding intelligence. On Theta 9's surface, 1 million Cravor warriors simply dropped. The battle was over. Aftermath. Silence filled the Ragnarok's bridge. Then, slowly the crew began to cheer. Ryder remained standing, watching the tactical display. 4 hive ships destroyed. Cravor threat eliminated. Zelkari colony saved. 0 human casualties. Torres, begin extraction operations. Get those civilians to safety and send a message to Earth Command. Mission accomplished. Sir, we're receiving thousands of transmissions. From the Zelkari, from the Galactic Council, from everyone. They all want to know what just happened. Ryder smiled. Tell them the truth. Humanity answered a distress call. Nothing more, nothing less, but they both knew the truth was bigger than that. The galaxy had just learned that humans weren't soft. They were the most dangerous species in known space, and they'd been hiding it all along. The battle is won. But the real challenge begins. How will the Galactic Council react? What happens when the Zelkari see humans face to face? And what other secrets does Earth still hide? The story gets even better. Keep watching! The Galactic Council chambers had never been this quiet. 70 species, representing thousands of worlds, watched the same holographic display. It showed the Theta 9 system, showed 4 destroyed Cravor hive ships, showed the Ragnarok hovering in orbit like a sleeping dragon. Chancellor Murix finally broke the silence. Did anyone know humans possessed this capability? No one answered. Because no one had known Ambassador Krell of the Draxian Imperium, who had laughed loudest at human primitiveness, looked like he'd swallowed poison. That weapon, the one that erased the hive ship. What was it? All eyes turned to Ambassador Chen of Earth. She stood slowly, her elderly frame somehow seeming taller, stronger. For 70 years she'd endured mockery in this chamber. Not anymore. You called it the dimensional shear cannon, Chen said quietly. We call it the mercy shot. Mercy? Merix's scales rattled with anger. You used a weapon banned by galactic law for 2,000 years. Banned by your laws, Chen corrected. Earth isn't a full member of this council. Your laws don't apply to us. You made sure of that when you rejected our application 3 times. This is an act of war, Krell shouted. The deployment of such weapons saved 3 million innocent lives, Chen interrupted, her voice cutting like a blade. While you debated and argued, humans acted. We heard a distress call and responded. Isn't that what the council claims to stand for? You should have waited for authorization. The Zelkari didn't have time for your authorization. They had hours. You would have debated for days, then sent a peacekeeping force that would have arrived too late to save anyone. Chen advanced toward the center of the chamber, her image projected large for all to see. For 70 years you've treated humanity like children. Too young, too primitive, too emotional to sit at the adult table. You laughed at our technology, mocked our desire to help defend the galaxy, rejected every attempt we made to contribute. Her voice rose. So we built in secret. We learned. We adapted. We took your technology, the scraps you thought were safe to share, and made it better. And when someone needed help, when lives were at stake, we didn't wait for permission. We acted. The chamber erupted in shouts. Some aliens demanded sanctions. Others called for Earth's complete isolation. A few, very few, nodded in agreement. Chancellor Mirix slammed his gavel repeatedly. Order! This council will have order. He turned to Chen. Ambassador, Earth must submit to an immediate inspection. We need to know what other weapons you've developed. Chen smiled. No, the chamber fell silent again. What did you say? I said no, Chancellor. Earth is a sovereign world. We don't answer to this council. We never have. And after today, we never will. Then you leave us no choice, Mirix said gravely. This council hereby votes to quarantine Earth. No trade. No communication. Complete isolation until you comply with galactic law. Chen's smile widened. Go ahead, try it. But ask yourselves this. If one human ship can destroy 4 Cravor Hive ships, what do you think our entire fleet can do? The implication hung in the air like a sword. You're threatening us, Krell demanded. No, I'm informing you. Humanity is done being treated as inferiors. We saved the Zelkari because it was the right thing to do. Not for your approval. Not for a seat on your council. Because 3 million people deserve to live. Chen turned to leave, then paused. Oh, and one more thing. The Ragnarok. That's not our best ship. It's just the first one we're letting you see. She walked out, leaving the council in chaos. Theta 9 Colony, Landing Zone. Alpha. The Ragnarok's dropships descended through Theta 9's atmosphere like mechanical angels. Commander Velrak stood with 2 million Zelkari survivors watching the ships land. He'd ordered all his remaining soldiers to stand down. After what he'd witnessed, he wasn't about to give the humans any reason to think he was hostile. The first dropship's ramp lowered. Sergeant Maria Kowalski stepped out in full-powered armor, her mechanical form towering over the Zelkari. Behind her came 400 Marines, each one looking like a war machine made flesh. Velrax approached slowly, all 4 arms raised in the Zelkari gesture of peace. Sergeant Kowalski? He struggled with the unfamiliar human name. I am Commander Velrax. My people, we owe you our lives. Kowalski's helmet retracted, showing her scarred face. She grinned. Just doing our job, Commander. Now let's get your people to safety. We've got medical teams setting up, food, water, whatever you need. I don't understand, Velrax said softly. Why? We treated your species with contempt. The Zelkari voted against every human proposal in the council. Why would you risk so much to save us? Kowalski knelt down, bringing her massive armored form closer to Velrax's height. Because that's what humans do, Commander. We don't hold grudges when lives are at stake. Your politicians were assholes. You're not your politicians. She stood, gesturing to her Marines. Besides, we've got a saying on Earth, we judge species by their worst and individuals by their best. Your leaders were jerks. But you stayed with your people when you could have fled. You fought to the last. That's worth saving. Tears streamed down Velrax's face, all 4 eyes glistening. Thank you, he whispered. Thank you. Aboard the Ragnarok, Medical Bay, Dr. Sarah Kim moved between wounded Zelkari, her medical team working frantically. The aliens had injuries human doctors had never seen, physiology that was completely foreign. But Earth's medical technology had advanced in secret too. Nanosurgical bots adapted in real time. Bioscanners learned alien anatomy on the fly. Treatment protocols wrote themselves using AI assistants. A young Zelkari child, barely the equivalent of 6 human years, lay on a medical bed, her breathing shallow. Shrapnel from a Kravor weapon had pierced her chest. "Doctor, she's crashing," warned a nurse. Kim didn't hesitate. "Prep the emergency nanosurgery. I don't care if we've never done this on a Zelkari before. We're not losing her." Her hands moved with practiced precision. The nanobots entered the child's bloodstream, guided by Kim's neural interface. She could see through their microscopic cameras, working at a cellular level. 15 minutes later, the child's breathing stabilized. The Zelkari mother, who had been watching in horror, collapsed to her knees. "You saved her. You saved my daughter," Kim smiled tiredly. "That's what we do, ma'am. Every life matters. Human Zelkari doesn't matter. Life is life." The mother touched Kim's hand with her 4-fingered grip. "I will never forget this, never. The humans. You're not what we were told." "No," Kim agreed. "We're better." Command briefing. 2 hours later, Captain Ryder stood in the Ragnarok's briefing room with his senior staff. Holographic displays showed the aftermath. Casualty counts, damage assessments, political fallout. "Status report," Ryder commanded. Torres stepped forward. "All Zelkari civilians accounted for. 2.3 million survivors in our care. Medical teams report 30,000 critical cases, but Dr. Kim says they'll all survive. 0 human casualties. The Ragnarok sustained minimal damage, some scoring on the forward hull from Kravor bioplasma, already being repaired. And the political situation? A nightmare, sir. The Galactic Council is in chaos. Half want to quarantine Earth. The other half are terrified of what else we might have hidden. We're receiving communication requests from 40 different species. Some want alliances, others want to know how to build their own dimensional shear cannons." Ryder laughed darkly. "They want our weapons now? After 70 years of calling us primitive?" "Yes, sir. And it gets better. The Zelkari government has formally requested Earth's assistance in rebuilding Theta 9. They're offering full technology exchange, trade agreements, and a mutual defense pact. From the species that voted against us 3 times. Turns out almost dying changes perspectives." Torres allowed herself a small smile. "Sir, I've also received word from Earth Command. Admiral Hawk is extremely pleased. He's authorizing full reveal of our fleet capabilities." Ryder's eyebrows rose. "The whole fleet? All 37 Ragnarok-class warships?" "Every single one. He says it's time the galaxy knew exactly what humanity has been building. That's going to cause panic." "That's the point, sir. Fear breeds respect, and right now humanity needs respect more than it needs friendship." Ryder nodded slowly. "What about the other projects? The stealth frigates, the orbital defense platforms, the quantum communication network? Those stay secret for now. Let them worry about what they can see. The stuff they can't see will keep them awake at night." Zelkari homeworld, emergency government session. High Chancellor Trevix stood before the Zelkari governing assembly, his forearms trembling. "The humans saved us," he said simply. 3 million of our people are alive because one human ship answered our distress call. One ship defeated an enemy that destroyed our entire defense fleet." The assembly sat in stunned silence. "For 70 years, we treated them with contempt," Trevix continued. "We called them soft, emotional, weak. We laughed at their technology. We voted against their council membership because we thought they had nothing to offer." He pulled up. Holographic footage of the battle, the Ragnarok tearing through Kravor hive ships like they were made of paper. We were wrong. Catastrophically wrong. The humans weren't weak. They were patient. They were learning. And while we mocked them, they were building weapons that make our technology look like stone tools. A council member stood. "What do we do, High Chancellor? The humans have the power to destroy us if they wished." "But they don't wish it," Trevix said firmly. "That's the point. They had every reason to let us die. We had treated them terribly. Yet they came. They fought. They saved us. Not for profit, not for territory, because it was right. He made a decision that would change Zelkari history forever. I am hereby proposing full alliance with Earth. Technology sharing, cultural exchange, military cooperation, and I am formally endorsing Earth's application to the Galactic Council with our full support for immediate membership. But the Council will never... The Council, Trevix interrupted, just watched one human ship do what their entire peacekeeping force could not. They'll vote however Earth wants them to vote. Because now, finally, humanity has what it's always deserved. Respect. Aboard the Ragnarok, Captain's quarters. Ryder sat alone staring at a holographic photo of Earth. Blue oceans, green continents, home. A message came through from Admiral Hawk. Jake, congratulations on a flawless mission. You've done something incredible. You've changed humanity's position in the galaxy forever. But I need you to understand something. This was the easy part. Ryder frowned. Easy? You defeated an enemy. You saved lives. That's warfare. Humans are good at warfare. But now comes the hard part. Peace. Diplomacy. Making the galaxy accept that we're not just warriors, but equals. Partners. Hawk's image leaned forward. The Ragnarok is going to stay at Theta 9 for now. You'll be the face of humanity to the Zelkari people. Show them who we really are. Not just soldiers, but doctors, engineers, teachers. Show them that humans don't just destroy, we build. Understood, sir. And Jake? Be ready, the galaxy is watching now. Every move we make will be scrutinized. We can't afford mistakes. We won't make any, sir. After the transmission ended, Ryder returned to the bridge. Through the main view screen, he could see Theta 9 below, a wounded world beginning to heal. Kowalski appeared beside him. Sir, the Zelkari are asking if some of our Marines can help with the rescue operations. Manual labor stuff. Clearing rubble, recovering bodies? Absolutely. Get volunteers. Full cooperation. Already have 200 Marines signed up. They're eager to help, sir, Ryder smiled. That's why we'll win, Sergeant. Not because we have better weapons. Because we give a damn. Theta 9 surface. Ruins of new settlement. Marine Corporal David Chen dug through rubble alongside Zelkari survivors. His powered armor's strength made him perfect for the work, lifting debris that would take 10 Zelkari to move. A Zelkari elder watched him work, fascinated. Human, the elder said. May I ask you something? Sure, David replied, not stopping his work. Your armor, your weapons, your ship, all of it is so advanced, so powerful. Why didn't you reveal it before? Why hide your strength? David paused, thinking. You ever been in a fight, Elder? I'm a farmer. I avoid fights. Smart man. But see, my dad, he was a boxer back on Earth. He taught me something. The most dangerous fighter isn't the one who throws the first punch. It's the one who waits, who watches, who learns his opponent's moves. David lifted a massive piece of concrete, revealing a trapped Zelkari beneath. Other Marines rushed to help with the rescue. Humanity was in a galaxy full of species that thought we were weak, so we let them think it. We learned from them, studied them, and when the moment came, when someone actually needed us, we showed them what we'd become. The trapped Zelkari was pulled free, alive and conscious. Medical teams rushed forward. Your father sounds wise, the elder said. He was. He also taught me that real strength isn't about looking tough. It's about protecting people who can't protect themselves. David returned to digging. That's why we're here, Elder. Not to conquer, to help. The Elder placed one of his 4 hands on David's armored shoulder. The Zelkari were wrong about humans. Terribly wrong. I hope you can forgive us. David's helmet retracted, showing his young face, barely 25 years old. He smiled. Already forgiven. Now let's get these people to safety. Galactic Council. 3 days later. The emergency session had lasted for 72 hours straight. Species argued, threatened, pleaded. Some demanded action against Earth. Others proposed immediate alliance. Fear and respect warred in every alien mind. Finally, Chancellor Myrix called for a vote. The question before this council, should Earth be granted immediate full membership with all rights and privileges therein? Ambassador Chen sat in the human delegation area, flanked by 2 new faces, military advisors that Earth Command had sent. The message was clear. Earth wasn't asking anymore. They were telling. The vote began. Species after species cast their ballots. Every vote appeared as a hologram. Green for yes. Red for no. The Zelkari voted yes. Enthusiastically, several other species followed. Those who saw opportunity in alliance with humanity, but many voted no. The Draxian Imperium, the Catharian Collective, species that feared human power. The count reached the required majority. Earth had been accepted, but barely. The vote was close enough to show the galaxy was divided. Chancellor Murix looked exhausted. By council decree, Earth is hereby granted full membership. Ambassador Chen, humanity now has a voice in galactic affairs. Chen stood, her moment 70 years in the making. Thank you, Chancellor. I accept on behalf of humanity, and I promise you this. Earth will be a force for good in this galaxy. We will defend the innocent. We will stand against tyranny. And we will never ever forget that we were once the species no one believed in. She paused, letting her words sink in. You made a mistake underestimating us. Don't make another mistake trying to control us. Humanity extends our hand in friendship. I strongly suggest you take it. The chamber remained silent as Chen sat down. The galaxy had changed forever, and humanity had finally claimed its rightful place among the stars. The final act. What secrets does Earth still hide? How will humanity reshape the galaxy? And what new threat is awakening in the dark corners of space? The epic conclusion is next. Don't miss it. 6 months later, Earth Orbital Shipyard. Admiral James Hawke floated in zero gravity, watching the construction crews work on humanity's latest creation. It was larger than the Ragnarok. More powerful, more dangerous. Captain Ryder's voice crackled over the calm. Sir, is that the Valhalla? It is, Hawke confirmed. 30% larger than Ragnarok class. 3-dimensional shear cannons instead of 1. And a few other surprises I'm not ready to reveal yet. The Council's going to lose their minds. Let them. We're building 7 more just like it. Hawke's smile was grim. The galaxy wanted to see what humans could do. We're just getting started. On the shipyard's observation deck, diplomats from 20 different species watched the construction. Some with admiration, others with fear. Ambassador Chen joined Hawke at the viewport. You know we're making half the galaxy nervous, she said. Good. Fear keeps people honest. Hawke turned to her. How are the alliance negotiations going? Better than expected. The Zelkari are all in. Full technology exchange, mutual defense pact, cultural exchange programs. We're getting similar offers from 12 other species. The Catharian Collective wants to buy our weapons technology. Not happening. I told them that. They weren't happy. They can be unhappy from a safe distance. Hawke pulled up a holographic star map. Chen, I want to show you something. This is classified. Omega-level clearance. The map expanded, showing the entire known galaxy. Blue dots marked human-controlled space. Green dots showed allied species. Red dots marked potential threats. But there were also purple dots. Hundreds of them. What are those? Chen asked. Automated defense stations. We've been building them in secret for 15 years. Each one contains a quantum communication link to Earth, sensor arrays that can detect ships light years away, and enough firepower to hold off a fleet. Chen's eyes widened. How many? 347. Positioned throughout the galaxy. Completely hidden. If anyone attacks Earth or our allies, these stations activate automatically. We'll know about threats before they even reach our borders. My God. The Council would consider this an act of aggression. The Council can go to hell, Hawke said flatly. For 70 years we were unprotected, vulnerable, never again. Humanity will never again be at the mercy of species that consider us inferior. He zoomed in on a section of the map. Deep space, far from any major civilization. And this is something even more classified. A single massive structure appeared on the display. It was enormous, the size of a small moon. Project Bifrost, Hawke whispered. A space station capable of generating stable wormholes to any location in the galaxy. Instant travel. We could move entire fleets across the galaxy in seconds. Chen sat down overwhelmed. When will it be operational? 3 years, maybe less. Hawke turned to face her. Ambassador, humanity isn't just joining the galactic community. We're going to lead it. whether they want us to or not. Theta 9 Colony, Reconstruction Zone. The planet had been transformed. Where Kravor had destroyed, humans and Zelkari had rebuilt together. New cities rose from the ruins, stronger, better, incorporating both human and Zelkari design. Captain Ryder walked through the main settlement with Commander Velrax. The Zelkari officer had become Ryder's close friend over the past 6 months. "Your people work miracles," Velrax said, gesturing to a massive structure being assembled by construction bots. "6 months ago, this world was dead. Now look at it." "You helped," Ryder replied. "Your engineers learned fast, adapted our technology, made improvements we hadn't thought of. They passed a park where human and Zelkari children played together. The kids had learned each other's languages, created hybrid games that mixed both cultures. This is what the galaxy should be," Velrax said softly. "Not species hiding behind borders afraid of each other, but working together, building together. That's the dream," Ryder agreed. "But dreams take work. And protection." He pulled up a holographic report. "Velrax, I need to tell you something. In confidence." "Of course, my friend." "The Kravor that attacked Theta 9, they weren't a random raid. We've analyzed their flight paths, their behavior. They were driven here, pushed by something else." Velrax's expression darkened. "Pushed by what?" "We don't know yet. But something in deep space is moving. Something big. Our long-range sensors are picking up anomalies. Entire star system's going dark. And whatever it is, it's heading towards civilized space. How long do we have?" 2 years. Maybe 3. Ryder met his friend's eyes. "That's why we're building ships. Why we're fortifying positions. Not to threaten the Council. To protect everyone. Does the Council know?" "We've tried telling them. They think we're making excuses to militarize. They don't believe us." Velrax was quiet for a moment. "Then, the Zelkari believe you. If this threat is real, you have our full support. Ship, soldiers, resources. Whatever you need." Ryder gripped his friend's shoulder. "Thank you, Commander. That means more than you know." Draxian Imperium. Imperial Palace. Emperor Krell seethed with rage as he watched reports of human expansion. 3 new human colonies. 12 defensive platforms. Alliances forming with dozens of species. His military advisor stood nervously nearby. "Your Majesty, the humans are growing too powerful. If we don't act soon..." "Act how?" Krell snapped. "Invade Earth?" One of their ships destroyed 4 Kravor hive ships. They claim to have 37 more just like it. And who knows what else they're hiding. Then we build alliances against them. Unite the species that fear human power. You think I haven't tried? Half the galaxy is terrified of humanity. The other half wants to be their best friend. We're isolated, advisor. The humans outmaneuvered us completely." Krell pulled up an image of the Ragnarok. For 2,000 years, the Draxian Imperium was the galaxy's military power. We had the largest fleet, the best weapons. Other species feared us. He crushed the hologram with his fist. Now a species that was playing with chemical rockets 70 years ago has made us obsolete. The humans took everything we thought made us special and improved it. We're yesterday's news. What do we do, Your Majesty? Krell was silent for a long time. Finally, we adapt or we die. Send a message to Ambassador Chen. Tell her the Draxian Imperium wishes to negotiate. It was the hardest thing he'd ever said. Earth. Geneva headquarters. Sarah. Chen received Krell's message with surprise. The Draxians wanted to talk. The same empire that had fought hardest against Human Council membership, she brought the message to Admiral Hawk. "It's a trap," Hawk said immediately. "Maybe. Or maybe they're smart enough to see which way the wind is blowing." Chen studied the message. "The Draxians have good intelligence networks. If they're reaching out, they might know something we don't." "Like what?" "Like maybe they've detected the same anomalies we have. The dark zones, the disappearing systems. Maybe they're scared." Hawk considered this. "If the Draxians are scared enough to ask humans for help, we're all in trouble. So we meet with them. We meet but on our terms. Neutral territory. Full security. And Chen?" Hawk's expression was serious. "Don't trust them. The Draxians have been empire building for 2 millennia. They don't suddenly become nice because we have bigger guns." "Understood." Galactic Council Summit, 2 weeks later. The summit was unlike any before it. Earth sat at the center. no longer as observers, but as full members. Around them, species that had once mocked them now sought their favor. Chancellor Merrix called the session to order. "We face a crisis," he began. "Multiple systems on the galactic rim have gone silent. Entire civilizations losing contact. We've sent investigation teams. None have returned." Murmurs of fear rippled through the chamber. "Ambassador Chen," Merrix continued, "Earth's long-range sensors are the most advanced in the galaxy. What have you detected?" Chen stood, pulling up holographic data for all to see. 3 months ago, we detected gravitational anomalies in Sector 891. 2 months ago, the Kavek system went dark. 30 billion inhabitants gone silent overnight. Last month, it was the Terran cluster. This week, the Outer Rim colonies stopped transmitting. The display showed a pattern, a wave of darkness moving through space. Whatever this is, it's systematic, intelligent, and it's moving towards civilized space at approximately 0.5 light speed. "What is it?" someone shouted. "We don't know," Chen admitted. "But based on the energy readings, it's massive, bigger than anything we've encountered. And if it maintains its current trajectory, it will reach the galactic core, where most of us live, in 18 months. Panic erupted in the chamber. Emperor Krell stood, his pride clearly wounded but his voice steady. "The Draxian Imperium offers our full military resources to investigate this threat, but we cannot face it alone." He turned to Chen. "Ambassador, the Draxian Imperium formally requests a military alliance with Earth. Our differences are meaningless if we're all about to die." Chen looked at Admiral Hawk, who had appeared via hologram. He nodded slightly. "The Draxian Imperium's offer is accepted," Chen announced. "But we need more than 2 species. We need everyone." She addressed the entire council. For 70 years, humanity watched this council argue and bicker while real threats went ignored. We're not doing that anymore. If we're going to survive whatever is coming, we need unity. Real unity. Not political alliances of convenience, but genuine cooperation. Chen's holographic display shifted, showing Earth's fleet. Humanity will share our technology, our weapons, our defensive strategies. Not for profit, not for political gain, because if we don't stand together, we'll die separately. Species after species stood, pledging support. The Zelkari, the Catharians, even the Draxians. One by one, old enemies became new allies. Chancellor Merrix looked stunned. I don't believe what I'm seeing." "Ambassador Chen, you've accomplished in minutes what we've failed to do in centuries." "How?" Chen smiled. "Simple, Chancellor. We showed the galaxy something they'd never seen before, a species willing to put aside pride for the greater good. Humanity learned from being underestimated. We learned humility. Maybe it's time the rest of the galaxy learned it too." Earth. 1 month later, Captain Ryder stood on the bridge of the Ragnarok, now flagship of the combined Galactic Defense Fleet. Around him, ships from dozens of species formed the largest armada ever assembled. Draxian battlecruisers, Zelkari destroyers, Catharian fighters, and at the center, 7 human Ragnarok-class warships. "Sir," Torres reported, "all ships reporting ready. The fleet awaits your command." Ryder looked at his crew, humans who had trained for this moment their entire careers. "Open a channel to all ships. All species. Channel open, Captain. This is Captain Jake Ryder of Earth to all Allied forces. 6 months ago, I commanded 1 ship on a rescue mission. Today, I command a fleet representing 70 different species. That says everything about how far we've come." He paused, letting his words reach across the vast fleet. "We're heading toward an unknown threat, something that has destroyed entire civilizations. Some of you are scared. Good. Fear keeps us sharp. But remember this, we're not alone. Every species in this fleet brings something unique. Draxian strength, Zelkari ingenuity, human determination. Together we're unstoppable." Ryder stood tall. Humanity spent 70 years being underestimated. We used that time wisely. We learned, we built, we prepared. And when the moment came, we didn't hesitate. Now it's time for all of us to show the universe what civilization truly means. All ships, engage faster than light drives. Course set for Sector 891. Let's go see what's out there. And whatever it is, Ryder smiled. Let's show it why you don't mess with the galaxy. The fleet jumps to FTL. One by one, the ships vanished into faster-than-light travel. The Ragnarok went last, its massive engines bending space around it. On Earth, billions watched the fleet depart. In the Galactic Council chambers, species that had once laughed at humanity now prayed for their success. On Theta 9, Zelkari children waved at the sky, not understanding that humanity's ships were saving them again. And in the dark reaches of space, something ancient and terrible waited. But it wasn't ready for what was coming, because humanity had taught the galaxy something new. Never underestimate those you consider weak, never mock those who ask for help, and never, ever send an SOS to Earth, unless you're ready for the most powerful force in the galaxy to answer. Admiral Hawk stood in Earth Command. Watching the fleet's telemetry, beside him, Ambassador Chen asked quietly, "Do you think they'll make it?" "They will," Hawk said with absolute certainty. "Because they're not just fighting for Earth, they're fighting for everyone. And that makes them unstoppable. What if whatever is out there is worse than we imagined?" Hawk smiled. "Then the universe is about to learn why humans don't back down from a fight." We answered a distress call with a galaxy killer vessel. Imagine what we'll bring to an actual war. Chen laughed despite her fear. "The alien sent the wrong SOS. "No," Hawk corrected. "They sent exactly the right one. They just didn't know they were waking up the monster that would save them all." On the view screen, the fleet disappeared into the unknown, and humanity's real story was just beginning. The end. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more HFY content. Comment below. What did you think of humanity's secret fleet? What do you think is waiting in deep space? Let me know. Next video. What happens when the fleet encounters the unknown threat? Subscribe so you don't miss it.